Hey y'all, welcome to Other Realm Studio. I'm Paula and we are back to my concept art of my character from probably what's going to be my next comic after Soulbound. And this is Diane. And I actually need to come up with a few different versions of her. But for now, I think I'm going to go with this one and just work out just kind of work out what I want to do with her. As you do, with concept art. So let me see. We'll use the light grayish palette on the multiply layer. That's the next one up from flats. And I'm just going to brush this in pretty boldly using the oil paint brush. And then probably what I'm going to do is go back and blend it to death. With the little blend tool here. So let's see, I've been doing these art streams for a while now. I haven't really promoted them very much, but today I went back and actually posted a link a few minutes before time. So I can practice that. See, I did have topics I wanted to cover, and I've forgotten what they were. Now, the comic that I've just finished is called Soulbound. It's a portal fantasy adventure about a pragmatic med student, Becca, who is thrown into another world of monsters, myth, and magic. And this is actually the same world that this person, Diane, lives in, I think, much later, like a couple hundred years later. Because essentially I just have the one world and I go through a lot of different eras in it. And that's why I call my whole setup here Other Realm Studio. Because these are all the different tales in the Other Realm through all the eras in it. So it's a place where lost things end up. Lost civilizations, lost technology, cryptids, magic, legends. It's a place between realities that's its own reality. And so I'd really like to do a steampunk one at some point. The trouble with steampunk, though, it takes a lot of, or my vision of it anyway, it's going to take a lot of elaborate textures. It's going to take a lot of machines. I'm not really good at machines. And I know I'm not exactly helping myself here by sticking with the fantasy element stuff with most of my concept art. But I don't know, it's just that steampunk seems like it's going to be a little advanced for me. I have the worst time trying to draw like things with edges that need to be consistent. Gears and stuff. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to practice. Which I guess that's my answer for everything, honestly. Okay, now finally the eyes are starting to bother me because we're looking straight through here. So I'm going to do another layer. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this layer down behind the flats. Right? So right here's our flats layer. And down there below it is our new layer for the eyes. And we can just concentrate on the eyes here, and we can blend and highlight and do all we like with those without worrying about smudging the shape of the eyes that we've built in so carefully with our line art and our shading and everything. Yeah, ours, I guess. And so, oops, I forgot I don't have my pen set up where it'll go up to the upper screen here where I have my little tabs and boxes and stuff. So I was just going to take a look at some reference. So there's fallen mythical creature, really? People search that? I just wanted something. Now this is a nice up-close shot of an eye. These are a little bit farther away. But, oh wait, why did it jump? Okay, so here, let's look at this one. You can actually see, the eye is kind of lined with a darker line around the eyelid. You can see that the whole thing's not just pupil. There is an iris there that's very subtle and gleaming. And of course, you got your little eyelashes. So I may actually rework some of the line art for the eyelashes. Let's back out of that. Let's see, are there any other good examples of what we're looking for in the eye? I like this palette here. That's very nice. Look, there's a little white one. How cute. There's that same one again. That's a lucky one. I hope they remember to keep it warm afterward. And the Tinkerbell one. Ah, poor thing. Didn't last. Oh, look at that. This one. Look at that. Ah, super dramatic fawn. The mom's not alarmed. The fawn, however, is spring-loaded. How cute is that? Okay. This is as good of a time as any to offer you a PSA about what to do if you ever find a fawn in your yard, like curled up like this. Leave it alone. Mama is just out of sight, waiting for you to leave. And that's how deer do. So let me shrink this so I can keep an eye on my other boxes and things up here. Let's try and remember what I was trying to keep in mind. Yeah, I think the warmer color. Let's try not to look too creepy at this right now. And yeah, a little darker. All right. Hang on just a second. I will be right back. Just give me a couple minutes. And hello, I'm back. Let's see. Let me back out of my message there. Get settled back in. Yeah, I had to go and tuck in Miss Chaos, and then on my way back out, I realized that the bathroom sink was covered in suds and toothpaste. These things, they happen. I just heard something strange. I don't know what that was. Oh, undo that. Okay, now I have seen tutorials on how to draw beautiful, luminous eyes, and I don't remember what they are right now. I don't know. So I'm gonna do my usual blendy thing for creating depth. And variation in the eyes, and that's another reason why I prefer to have the eyes on their own layer. Because the blending is very easy to make a mess of. That looks ever so slightly creepy. So, come on, back out of that. See, I think I should go smaller blending brush and use blur instead of just totally blend. Maybe a little bigger. Okay, so I'm getting the range of color that I want here, but I'm gonna have to do the pupils or we're gonna be left with a cursed image. So let me see. Try and blend that out just a little more. Do I need to go with a straight black on that? Maybe. And then once I put some highlight in, it's gonna look better. Alright, I just need to work out exactly how big the pupil needs to be. And where exactly we're looking. Okay, and then for the highlight, I'm gonna need a new layer just above it, and I can never remember. Let's see what we can do with soft light. not much. Let me see. Nope, it didn't get changed to soft light. It's just on normal. Oh, what am I even thinking? I didn't even switch it to the brush. Yeah, I think I am getting a little, whoops, I am getting a little bit sleepy. It's been a day. There we are with overlay. That's not quite doing it. Don't like hard light either. Okay, so I think if we use lighten and we'll just stick with white. And then I can adjust how thick the layer is, you know? So I do need to work on exactly where the highlights need to be. So I do think we are approaching a more realistic shine. I don't know if we've gotten away from cursed image yet, but I may have to just look at it tomorrow and see. Alright, so with the eyes being so dark, I think I can afford to go a lot more boldly on our shading. Oh, that says dark grayish. I don't know if we're going to go that boldly. We'll go light grayish. Not pink. Okay, this is slightly pink, but it's going to be fine for the insides of the ears. Or this ear anyway. You don't really see the inside of the other one. Let's see. Oh goodness, there was something I wanted to bring up today, and I forgot what it was. So let me see if I can make this a little more subtle around the edges. I don't really like leaving hard edges when I shade. So working on Soulbound is a bit of a departure for me because I'm doing the whole cell shading thing, and I think that it looks so much better on the newsprint, especially if the shadows do have harder edges, because you know, it is a lot more of a subtle effect. Yeah, just some of the yeah, due to the way that the newsprint, even though it is a very fine grade of newsprint, it does tend to smudge out your colors already, you know, like I'm doing here, you know, on this ear. So if you have harder edges on your shadows, then they're not gonna look that harsh in print, at least not on the newsprint. I mean, a lot of the color reproduction is just, it's spot on. Some of the, what was the color? I have one right here. Let's see. The kind of teal color that I have going on does not always show up precisely like I would have it. Especially when there's any shading on it, it looks more blue. That's usually because I use a blue shading. And let me see. What else on here did not quite show up the color that I thought it would? Well, I know that the straight red did not really. Yeah, like in the American flag. It, in a couple spots, it did look like it printed a bit light. I don't know if that was just this batch, but it did better when I shaded it and then it got a good saturated color. And yeah, another one of the things that I want to remember to do is when I do the stars, when I take my star effect and just sprinkle stars all over the page because I can't really help myself, I can go much bigger than I originally thought. Much bigger. Because, you know, the ends of the stars, the little points of them, they get blurred into the paper a little bit too. So if you want bright stars twinkling merrily, you can make them like 2 or 3 times as big as you'd originally hoped, and they're gonna look awesome. So yeah, that's some of the fun surprises of working with newsprint. Like all this stuff that I thought was too harsh actually ended up looking really good. And let's see. And some of the things that, you know, I wasn't sure would look right if the color wasn't exact. It ended up going together anyway because well, just the paper itself has a consistency to it. So let me see. I think I can get away with going completely around here. Up under the eye some. We'll just shade this a little more dramatically. And blend that a little bit better in the middle. And we'll go back to blur. Get a little bit bigger though of a brush. And I think I can put a lot more shade up under her nose. So I'm actually kind of proud of this. I had gotten stuck in a rut, like you do, on a certain way to do noses. And this is kind of a departure for me, so I'm pretty excited. I like how her nose turned out. It's very cute. And let's take down the width of our blending brush. Take down the width of the paintbrush. I think that for the sake of texture, I think we can do a little bit of a rosier color. And blend it in a little. Okay, so what I want to do now is go into our soft light layer for our highlights. We're going to go with, is it pale tone? Thank you, autosave. And a much more narrow brush, and zoom in on her hair and see what we can do about that. So I think what there would be are a few individual strands that would catch the light. And then of course you have your spaces where the highlights would hit all at once. So let's see. So I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to do the Kickstarter for issue 2 of Soulbound this year. I mean, I had kind of hoped that I would, but I don't know. The year just seems to be going really fast for me. And even though I've gotten just about everything done with fulfillment for issue 1, let's see, I still need to do the wallpaper. I need to upload that and do something a little bit better about delivering the rest of the digital rewards. So originally I had a temporary download link just sent in a message to all the backers on the Kickstarter. So, you know, if you happen to visit your Kickstarter page, you would get a message, a notification that's a message from me, and in it there would be the links. And that was just sent out to the backers, and it just contained the $2 rewards that were just for the digital backers, the digital only. And then at the other tiers, you know, I had a slightly fancier digital reward that, you know, included the desktop wallpaper. But I hadn't uploaded that one yet. I wanted to check and make sure that it's right, and I barely have time to sit down. And you know, when I do sit down, I really ought to be editing my novel. And if I'm not doing that, then I need to be creating some more inventory for Soda City Comic Con, which is coming up on August 10th and 11th in Columbia, South Carolina. It's gonna be huge. They've got like a bunch of some VIP packages and some people from some of the voice actors from Batman the Animated Series, I think it was that iteration of Batman. There have been a lot of iterations of Batman, y'all. Yeah, so that's terribly exciting, but it also means I'm going to have to show up really early and set up stuff and be ready and be on the go for, a couple more hours for the weekend, even than usual. And I'm really excited, but I I think uh I think I've run out of my excess stock that I had, and there's not quite as much as there was. Let me erase out a few of these. I just got a little clumpy right there. So yeah, I have a ton to do, and I having a little difficulty concentrating and getting it done. But at the same time, it's really nice to spend time on, you know, doing these art streams and practicing talking, because I need to do that. I need to be better. I owe it to y'all to be better at conveying what it is that I mean. Okay, let's see. I want to do a little bit of subtle texture here. It's a little hard to say what exactly. So I might check out the airbrush tool and maybe the hatching and cross hatching, and see what I can do with a very light touch to add a little texture to her face. Let's see, this is, okay, there's our hatching tool. This is the friction. This has not done very much. Does this do anything? It doesn't really look like it does anything. Okay, gauze should do something. Don't really like it, no. Although it does have a nice texture for around the eyes, I think. Oh, I was wondering if I should do freckles. Freckles are terribly cute and somewhat deer-like. Sand, sand, diagonal line. I don't know. Possibly not. In fact, definitely not. Okay, so probably nothing really in the hatching. Alright, what do we have in the airbrush? Okay. Yeah, I think this adds a little bit of texture and interest, but it might be too subtle at the correct size for this piece. Although this right here might actually... Alright, hang on. I thought it was going to do the... Thought it was going to do the autosave just then, but it did not. Alright, let's see. How does this look? Really tiny. Let's undo that. It's our brush size. That looks right for the brush size, and our particle size is really small. Let's back off with the density a bit. And we'll take a look. Yeah, I think I really do like the freckles. We could even go a little bit more extreme on those. Okay, I think that's really cute, but the hair still looks a little harsh to me, so I don't know, that just might be the line art. Yeah, she looks way better with eyelashes. So let me see. That's gonna have to be it for tonight. I just caught sight of the time. I haven't prepped coffee for the morning yet. But I do think that she's coming along. We're getting there. And yeah, I think I was about to say that it's just really helpful for me. It's been really great for my discipline to sit down and just draw, 4 nights a week, just on the chance that somebody's going to be there and, want to spend some time, chill out, watch some art. It is very relaxing. That's what I've found. Just watching something come from nothing. That's really the definition of creativity. Well, that's all for tonight, and I will be back Thursday night, 9 p.m. again, same time, same channel, or channels, as the case may be. And let me start clicking out of stuff up here. Always save. Let's see. I do still think that I have the eyes so dark that it kind of dominates the image a little bit. So I don't know if I'm going to be making other things darker just to balance that out or not. So I will have to think about that some more. But thank you for coming along, keeping me company, or for watching later. And if you have a chance, stop by my website at www.otherrealmstudio.com and check out my work and maybe even sign up for my newsletter or commission some art, possibly. And I'll catch you later. See you in the other realm. Good night.